Hi, welcome to the online grade 7 tuitions. My name is Kuyere and I'll be taking you through the second topic in mathematics, and it is titled Combined Operations. Now, why do you need to learn this? You need to learn this because in mathematics, some problems you're going to encounter are not easily calculated the way you would calculate 1 plus 1 or 2 plus 3. If you look at what you are seeing on the screen, there is a combination of operations here. For example, 4 plus 5, this is addition. Then there is times here, which is multiplication. And now, a common mistake many would make is to calculate this in sequence, where, for example, they start with 4 plus 5, the answer is 9, then they multiply 9 times 6, which is 54, then they do 54 plus 2, and then they would write 56. Now, that is an error. That is not how we work with combined operations. There are certain rules that we need to follow. So, in this topic, you are going to learn about the order of operations. That will be the first thing we'll be talking about. Then number 2, you will learn about BODMAS. This is a very important technique, a very important method that will guide you in how to work with combined operations. Thereafter, we shall look at what is known as the commutative law, the associative law, and the distributive law. So let us get started with the order of operations. For example, if you were given a task to find what is 4 plus 2, what would be the answer? Well, the answer is simply 4 plus 2, 4, 5, 6. The answer is 6. How about if the question was stated in this sequence by starting with the number 2 instead of 4? 2 plus 4. Well, you'll notice that the answer is still 6. So, it is the same with multiplication. In this case of addition, we notice that the order doesn't matter. Okay, so if we are multiplying, it will still be the same thing. If I'm multiplying 2 times 3, it will be 6. If it is 3 times 2, the answer will still be 6. With addition, you will notice that the order of operations doesn't matter. You can start with whichever figure you want to start with. It will still give you the same answer. Even with multiplication, if you are only dealing with multiplication, 2 times 3, you can do it either way. It will still give you the same answer. But then things become a little bit different when we start combining these operations. So, for example, let us look at 4. Let us look at 4 plus 5 times 6 plus 2. So here now we need to know what do we start with, which operations do we start with. You don't just calculate this in sequence the way it looks. So here we need to use a technique or a method known as BODMAS. BODMAS. So now, BODMAS means B is brackets. So this is brackets of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. And what this means is, for example, in what we've been given, it says brackets of division. If there was any division sign here, we would have started with division. Okay, multiplication follows next. But here are some two rules which are important for you to always remember. Multiplication and division, they have equal status. So you can do multiplication and division from left to right as they appear. Then addition and subtraction, they have also equal status. You can start with either of them. So now let us get started with what we have here. So here it says brackets of division. Well, we don't have division. Then it says multiplication. So we have to put this multiplication in those brackets. And what that means is we need to solve what is in the brackets before we do anything else. So 5 times 6, what is 5 times 6? 5 times 6 is 30, right? So this is going to become like this, 4 plus, what is in the brackets? We find the answer for that first before we go any further, because we are starting with this because BODMAS says brackets of division, multiplication, addition. So before we can do addition, multiplication comes first. That is why we are solving this first. So 5 times 6 is 30. So here I'll replace 5 times 6 with 30 like that. Then I'll reproduce that here, plus 2. So let's look at BODMAS again. Brackets of division, multiplication, addition. Now you notice that we've now only remained with addition, so we can go ahead and simply do the addition. So 4 plus 30 is 34, plus 2, it will come to 36, and that will be your answer. Well, let us look at another question just for an example. What is 6 plus 2 times 6? Okay, brackets of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So which one comes first here? Brackets of division, multiplication, addition. Okay, we don't have division, we don't have subtraction, but we have multiplication here, then we have addition here. So it says brackets of division, multiplication. So in BODMAS, multiplication comes first. That means I need to solve this first. So 2 times 6 is 12. And that means what I have now is 6 plus 12. 6 plus 12. And so you only have addition now, and you go ahead and find what is the answer for 6 plus 12, and that should give you 18. Yeah. Now imagine if you tried to answer this by just doing 6 plus 2 times 6. 6 plus 2 is going to give you 8, and 8 plus 6 is going to give you 14. So you wouldn't have gotten 18, you would have gotten a wrong answer, which is 14. So whenever you have these combined operations, it is always important to follow BODMAS. Right, let us do another one. Yes, let us look at a third example. 30 minus 12 times 2 divided by 8. Okay, this is a little bit complicated, but if we use our tool called BODMAS, it should be easy to answer. So now we have subtraction, multiplication, and division. So what are we going to do? Brackets of division. We have division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So now remember the two rules I told you, that multiply and divide have equal status. So you work on them in the way they've been stated. So with multiplication and division, they have the same status, so always work with them in the sequence they've been given. So, but the thing here, when we look at BODMAS, it says brackets of division and multiplication. So we cannot start with subtraction, we need to start with division and multiplication. Now, since division and multiplication have the same status, it means we are going to concentrate on this here. And since multiplication and division have the same status, we shall first start with this, and whatever we find here, we shall move on to divide with 8 in the way they've been given. So 12 times 2 is 24. Alright, then we'll move on to do here what we're going to have is 30 minus, then here we have 24 and divided by 8. So brackets of division, so like we said, we're still dealing with this. So you say 24 divided by 8. 24 divided by 8 is what you're going to start with, and that should give you 3. So what we have now is 30 minus 24 divided by 8. This should give you 3. And so finally you have 30 minus 3, and that should give you 27. Okay, so you write your 27 here. Okay, so if you think you've understood this topic, go ahead and do the questions that follow. If somehow you haven't understood something, please play the video again so that you understand some things you may have missed. You can even pause. You can even make the media player go slower, or YouTube, you can change the speed so that in case I'm speaking very fast, so that you can understand what we are explaining. Alright, so go ahead and do the exercise or watch the video again just for your practice.